So I
but
forgot
yeah,
my point, my talking
I
point.
mean,
I
I
mean,
would like I said, like what kind of infrastructure would you need? And like I said, like the school. I need schools. I need
mhm.
hospitals. I need, you know what I'm saying. I need sanitation. But but it might be like just, oh, I'm only over here. But anytime I've traveled to other places, I haven't seen that level of um community. You know what I'm saying? Like you'll go all these other places, and they might be touristy destination spots, but if you like in riding from, you know, wherever your resort is and going to one of your excursions or something like that, you get an opportunity to kind of see the lay of the land, man. And it never looks like you be like, that's a store. You know what I'm saying? Like these people still, you know, got chickens and cows and like it's like so it's crazy. And it just makes me think like, man, is there really no like infrastructure? Like they'll have a bus running through, you know, like the road will go through a whole river and that would be a part of like this is really the way. Like, you know what I'm saying? You see other cars in traffic and yet they're riding through the river. I'm like, this is crazy.
I mean, I think that's the difference, though. That's the one thing, and that's why I have, barring anything catastrophic, any catastrophe, man. There's no place I'd rather live than the U.S., man, because a couple things is one, this is, and they're granted they are doing away with it, but there's really nowhere else in the world where we have such a robust middle class. Either you're rich or you're poor. Like based on your last name and who you were born to, generally dictates how your life is going to go and how you die. U.S. is the only place that within one generation you can change the trajectory of your last name. Um, but with that being said, though, um, the thing that I think a lot of people don't think about is can you deal with the lack of justice and the corruption that goes on in some of these other places, man? Like, yo, you think you don't have no rights here, or you think that they can, they'll step on your rights here? Man, I've seen some stuff overseas. You be like, and what you gonna do? Like, oh, I'm a protest, man. They'll leave you stank. Like, so you have to be really mindful, and there's a lot of cases where you're almost powerless in a lot of situations, man. So for me, the infrastructure it wouldn't be the issue. It's the civilization of the justice system and the level of upward mobility or the lack thereof is just going to be tough. Like, I mean, if you go there with some bread, you're good. But if you go there at zero and you have to like try to build it, you're gonna be like, hey man, this thing called America ain't so bad no more. Cause you may not be able to do it in your lifetime, man. You gotta run your race and hand it off to the next generation, hoping they can fulfill your dream. Because a lot of times you can't do it by yourself in one generation in these other countries.
I mean, most people don't do it in one generation in this country. So that's literally like the top 5 to 10% that it might be able to do it in one generation. Everybody else is running that same rat race like in every other country. But I think to go back to the question, now that I remember the question, I think what will be most important to me is, you know, making sure that they're like I think a mix of both. You know what I mean? Education, hospitals, banks. You know what I mean? Some type of infrastructure. You know, safety and a place where they're willing to listen to the people. You know what I mean? Not necessarily be dictated by one president or one power or whatever. I ain't gonna say a dictator, but you know what I mean. But they're willing to listen to the people and understand the needs of the people and be willing to work with the people. So I think that would be the main things that would get me to mobilize to another country, and then the opportunity to be able to create industries myself. To come in and be able to say, okay, I got X amount of dollars. This is what I do. I want to do this here and be able to make that happen. So I think that would make me jump ship real quick if I had all of those things.
What African country would be ideal? For me, I would be looking into the Tanzanian, Kenyan space, that East African thing. I don't know, just I'm drawn to it. I would hope that I could find infrastructure like that there. Like if it ever, I feel like I feel like we're being pushed though, like, or at least I do. I feel like I'm being pushed to eventually make a move like that, to like move to East Africa, or I don't want to like retire in the Caribbean. Like I just feel like that's what something a lot of people do. But I do feel like I'm supposed to be like playing golf in Africa or something like that.